Hello and welcome to Some Good News, a special Booktube edition, sister network of SGN. I'm your host, Miranda Reeds, and I am excited to be sharing some good news with you all. Tonight we have a touching story following Michael, author of Most People and Goodnight Whispers. He recently received a letter in the mail from a 4-year-old fan. That letter detailed a serious event at a local farmer's market. A woman made a purchase and dropped her money. Several kids picked it up and began to chase that woman down. Upon catching her, they gave the money back. Our 4-year-old correspondent would like the world to know that there are good people out there. Michael was both surprised and delighted by this letter and reportedly wrote back right away. Award-winning children's author Barbara was delighted to learn that her latest book, Little Miss History Travels to Tombstone, Arizona, has won a Break Award. In addition, Little Miss History Travels to the North Pole has also won Book of the Year, Book Excellence, Reader's Favorite, and a Break Medallion. Currently, Barbara is working on #distance learning on her YouTube channel, linked down below. She's producing videos all about children's book reading challenges, trivia, and bite-sized learning. Judy, who has sent out her book to well over 100 publishing companies, has finally been picked up by Familiy. Her book is coming out September 1st. Florence and her fantastic family tree is all about a little girl given an assignment to create a family tree. However, hers is not a neat little family tree with 2 parents, 2 children, and a dog. Hers is actually quite complicated. Judy, along with her illustrator Laura Darty, are ecstatic for this book to be shared with the world. Lori has been publishing since 2015, focusing on parenting books. She has also spent years as a psychoanalyst, specializing in narcissism. She's recently published a new book called Are You Living with a Narcissist? And she's excited to be branching out to a new audience. This has also led her to begin writing psychological novels. Her first one is going to be about a woman who meets a narcissistic man. Together, they're able to change and he finds love. Now for the Instagram update. And in the Instagram update, that's where I ask you all on Instagram what your good book news is. Both Love Bookies and Summer of 99 have bought new books this week, which is always exciting and so much fun to hear. I hope you too enjoy your books. Violet Flame 05 and Literature Libations have both gotten book boxes this week. Book boxes are typically a monthly subscription where you get a book and a few extra bookish goodies. I hope your book boxes are amazing because you two certainly are. Last but not least, Lee Water Books is very excited to let us all know that the libraries are opening up again. That's always wonderful news when there's more libraries opening up. Speaking of libraries, time to go for our clips for the week. Hi again, it's Miranda from this angle. For clips of the week, that's when our users submit their best bookish news. First up, we have Angela and Tucker, 2 fabulously bookish people. Take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela, and thank you Miranda for inviting me to contribute some good bookish news. This week, my library has started curbside delivery. We're trying to open up slowly and safely for all of our customers. And I'm a librarian in training, so I was excited to finally get books into kids' hands.
Hello, my name is Tucker. I review books on Goodreads and my blog. I also post book videos on YouTube and book photos on my Instagram. My piece of bookish good news is that I finally got my TBR completely read. If you don't know what TBR stands for, it's to be read. So all the books that I had sitting around that I needed to read and review, I got them all read, and I'm really proud of myself. It took a lot of effort, and now I can read whatever I want, which is super fun.
It's not just the librarians and the reviewers spreading the good book news. We also have our children's book authors. These children's book authors are excited to get things moving and shaking as more and more children are turning to books. Let's turn to our children's book authors of the week.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy Nichols and I am a friend of Annette Marie Griffin's. We met at a writers conference and I am a kindergarten teacher and I also love to write and I love to draw. And so Annette has asked me to draw a picture of her book cover with a chalk drawing. She has seen me do it for my students. I have some students that I'm missing terribly, and so I can't be with them right now. So I've been drawing them pictures, and so she asked me if I could also draw a large picture of her book cover. All of my pictures have been about 8 feet by 8 feet, and I just want to give you a sneak peek. You can see some other things. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I want that to be a surprise.
Hi, I'm Carol P. Roman, and many of you know me from my children's books. This is one of them, Captain No Beard. This is being a captain is hard work, and this is an award-winning series. I'm very proud of my other nom de plume, Britt London of the Bulwark series, The Devil and Dayna Dalton. But my big news is about my big book of silly jokes for kids, and here it is. And this book was #1 on Amazon for most of last month. It's still doing well. It outsold a lot of books on Amazon, and kids are enjoying it. And I think it's done a lot of good during this confined period of time when children needed a little humor. And I'm sure a lot of parents are appreciating it too.
Hi, my name is Eugenia Chu. I'm the author of Brandon Makes Jiao, a picture book, and Brandon Goes to Beijing, a chapter book. And I have 3 pieces of good news I'd like to share with you guys. First, I just finished the first draft of Brandon Goes to Hong Kong, so hopefully that'll be out by next year. I have a non-fiction book with Callisto Publishing, which should be coming out by the end of this year. And third, I just finished a live stream interview with Burst Into Books. Yay! Thanks so much for letting me share. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Jessica D. Adams, author of the Underground Toy Society children's books that teach kids to keep their rooms clean. The good news I'd like to share is that Ellie's book has been nominated for the 2020 Top Shelf Book Awards, and I'm working on a coloring and activity book to go along with my stories.
With all of the craziness bringing the world down, there are plenty of authors who are making progress and putting pen to paper. Let's check in with Dara, Emily, Julia, Lisa, and Mary.
Hi, I'm Dara Lovitz. I am an author, lawyer, professor, animal activist, and mother of 7-year-old twins. My first book is Muzzling a Movement, The Effects of Anti-Terrorism Law, Money, and Politics on Animal Activism. Then I wrote Catching Falling Cradles, A Gentle Approach to Classic Rhymes. My third book is Twinsight, A Guide to Raising Emotionally Healthy Twins. My fourth book I don't have to show you because it's in my laptop. But the most exciting thing about this year is that it'll be published this fall. It's called Freedom from Emetophobia: How Exposure Therapy Helped Me Overcome a Lifelong Fear of Vomit. It's written by me and my exposure therapist. So excited to share it with you in the fall. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy.
Hi, my name's Emily Lauren Dick, and my book, Body Positive, A Guide to Loving Your Body, is going to be released January 5th, 2021 by Familiy Publishing, and I'm super excited because I just got a sneak peek of what the cover might look like. So exciting!
Hi, Miranda. Hi, Squamish. Author Julia Ash here. When I got to thinking about good book news, I thought about 3 things. And maybe it's because I retired from a school system that I went to the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now you're probably thinking, the acronym should have been RWA. Then I got to thinking maybe Romance Writers of America called first dibs on RWA, and we had to do horseshoes and get close enough. And that's how we got the 3 R's. Well, during the COVID-19 pandemic, I've been doing a lot of reading, but mostly I've been doing writing. And I have finished the 3rd installment to the Eli Chronicles called The Turning Point, and it's going to be released June 2nd. Some very good book news. So you might be wondering, what does arithmetic have to do with it? Well, it all adds up to book happiness.
Hey friends, my name's Lisa Sugarman, and I'm a parenting author. I'm also a nationally syndicated humor columnist, and I'm the co-host of a radio show here in Boston. I've also written 3 books, 1, 2, and the newest one is How to Raise Perfectly Imperfect Kids and Be Okay with It. And let's see, some good book news for me is that this book right here is available now on Kindle, and I'm pretty hyped.
Hi, I'm Mary Potter Kenyon. I'm an author and public speaker and a program coordinator at a spirituality center. And my good news is that my 6th book with Familiy's Publishing will be published in September. This book is called To Be Creative, and it has a blurb endorsement from New York Times bestselling author Debbie McComber. Exciting news for me as an author.
We have some extra special news about one of our authors and the movie industry. Michael, will you take it away, please?
Hey everyone, my name is Michael Oken. I am an award-winning author and screenwriter, and I am coming to you from the North Shore of Long Island, where I'm in quarantine, probably like the rest of the country. And I just finished my 2nd novel during this quarantine. I had them working, but now they are completely finished and they're off to my agent and they're off to my manager. I want to talk to you quickly about what the difference is between a film agent and a manager. Really no difference between a film agent and a manager. The only difference is the manager can produce your work where a film agent is not allowed to produce your work. So I have a manager, I have a literary agent, and I have a entertainment attorney who are representing my book career. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I hope everyone is safe. Stay safe, be good, read my books, and that's it.
And what Booktube video wouldn't be complete without a Booktube trailer? Wilmar, I can't wait to hear what you have for us.
Hi, my name is Wilmar Luna, author of the Silver Ninja superhero fantasy series, and this is my Booktube good news. I am happy to announce that I have officially completed the rough draft of the Silver Ninja Narco Hotel, the sequel to my first novel, A Bitter Winter. In this story, a drug cartel more powerful than the NYPD and FBI has invaded New York City, and the only woman who could stop them doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. Her plans for early retirement are shattered when Police Commissioner Patrick Gates comes calling. He knows her secret identity, and he wants her to assassinate the cartel leadership. If she doesn't comply, the commissioner has enough evidence to put our protagonist Cindy Ames in prison forever. Please sign up for my newsletter at thesilverninja.com/newsletter. Dates will be announced to newsletter subscribers. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.
And now to Agatha the Grump Raisin with the weather report. Thank you so much, Agatha. You are the sunny side to my eggs and the peaches to my cream. And tonight we have an extra special set of guests for the inaugural episode. We have Steph and June, 2 newly published authors, as well as Alicia, who will be published very, very soon. How about you start by introducing yourselves and what your latest book is?
I'm Stephanie Campese. I'm a picture book author. My 4th picture book, 5 Sisters, illustrated by Madalena Andronic, comes out today from Familiy, who I have a long relationship with and love very much. They're also the publishers of my 2nd book, Lewis and Tabitha, and a forthcoming book, Quacks Like a Duck. So 5 Sisters is a folkloric picture book with gorgeous sort of traditional style illustrations.
My picture book that's out today is She Leads, the Elephant Matriarch. The illustrator is Yumi Shimokawara, and it is a lyrical nonfiction about the journey of the elephant family unit led by the female matriarch. And it's got the circle of life, it's, you know, birth and death, and the knowledge that is passed down from generation to generation.
I'm Alicia Pace, and I wrote How to Potty Train a Dinosaur. It's a board book that will be released very soon. I'm mainly a freelance illustrator, and I'm now finally starting the whole writing thing, which has been quite fun for me.
All of your books sound so exciting. So one of my favorite things to learn about a book is, where does the inspiration come from? So at what point did you decide that this idea is going to be a book?
About it. At the time, I was living in Woodsy, Washington State, in this really small town in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by forests. Everything was misty and wonderful. So that element, together with the Matryoshka dolls, together with the fact that at the time my husband and I were trying for a child, and how difficult that actually ended up being, and the stories of my friends that I was hearing who were going through the same thing, all of that kind of fed together and turned into what became 5 Sisters.
She Leads started when my agent tweeted me on International Women's Day, and it was just a fact about elephants. She was like, "Hey, if you want to write about elephants," you know, I'm the animal person in her group. And I had already done a lot of research for elephants for a chapter book that I still have not written. But when she posted that, I was like, I can do this. I already have all this research done. And then I was sitting like, what could I possibly write about? If I wanted to write about the matriarch, but I mean, yeah, sure, she leads them around. And then as soon as I thought of she leads, everything else was just a waterfall of words. And also, I think it's very timely because it's about leadership and what makes a good leader and why she is a good leader and her efforts and her sacrifices.
It was just the potty training is awful. I started with my daughter, like she started really early, and because she seemed ready anyways, she just kept regressing, and it's been like a 2-year process of potty training her. But I was noticing that if I had like a stuffed animal around and she was explaining to the stuffed animal how to use the potty, that she would get finally kind of excited about it, because she kind of had this, I don't know, resentment probably to me always being, like, do you need to go potty? Once she was the one teaching it, it kind of became more exciting to her. So that's why I figured, and she liked dinosaurs, so I figured how to potty train a dinosaur would be a fun little book to role reversal there for the kids. So, yeah.
So, Steph and June, I know your books have just been published, but has there been any feedback yet?
I've gotten to give a few sneak peeks. I did some virtual class visits, and I got good feedback from some elementary students, third graders. But yeah, I can't wait to go in person into the libraries, into the schools, and see the faces of the kids as we're reading. That's when it'll be everything. Yeah.
There's definitely been some really interesting reviews coming through of parents reading it with their kids, and they've had really good feedback. And obviously the illustrations by Madeline are absolutely stunning. They're really vivid and bright.
How about your son, Steph? What does he think about the book?
My son is 10 months old, so he's a little bit too young to appreciate the book. He likes the taste of it, which is great. So he's definitely chewed on a few pages, so thumbs up for that.
I'm really curious how the global state of affairs is affecting books. Have you had to overcome or change any of your approach to the usual book publishing process?
Honestly, it's changed everything. We're really not sure what the situation is going to be in terms of when can we visit schools, when will bookshops or libraries or those other avenues be open. So it's definitely changed everything. So I think I'm definitely pitching more online outlets, magazines, newspapers, things like that. And also I think just being a little bit more gentle with myself in terms of the time frame involved. I mean, I feel like this is a pretty timeless book anyway, so it doesn't matter if all the sales aren't in the first week. we have time. And I think Familiy has been really open about, we should expect that sales will be a little bit different, that this approach will be a little bit different, but these books are still going to be here 6 months, years down the track, and the readers will still be there as well. So just be kind to ourselves and our expectations, and just aim for a slow burn.
For me, I was already headed in the direction of it needs to be pretty heavily digitally marketed, especially where my book is kind of a niche market. You go to an event, and if you have 30 to 50 people show up, if you're lucky, if you do that same event online, there might be 30 or 50 people up front, but then over time it will have a lot more views and a lot more exposure. So I was already sort of thinking, maybe I just need to push my online presence and really try to figure out how to digitally market the book.
It's good to know that there are so many different ways you can pivot your marketing and your techniques to getting the books out there. June and Alicia, I'm really curious, what is the core takeaway message from your books that you hope when kids read it, that's what they remember?
For She Leads, I want them to think, what makes a good leader? And the book is circular at the end. It's talking about the newborn baby, and it says, open your eyes, princess. One day you will lead. So I want kids to know that every great leader, every great person started off tiny like they are.
I want the kids to walk away from reading the book more excited about potty training, have a little bit of a better perspective on it, and a little bit of compassion for their poor parents who are having to clean up pee and poop all the time, nasty things. So just like, yeah, maybe just be a little bit more sympathetic towards their parents. And
I think that's going to be my life in a few months' time, so I definitely have to pick up a copy of your book.
I love it. All right, before you go, I do want to ask one last question. What is the most exciting thing that you have experienced or found, or really anything?
I'm really excited about it because I think it marks a different approach to storytelling for me. My previous books have been a little bit more humorous, a little bit more lighthearted, whereas this is definitely a story told as a poem. It's a prose poem. So I feel like it marks growth in me as an author.
I mean, with She Leads, I'm excited. I got a Kirkus star review and did a Snoopy dance around my house. Yeah, super excited about that. But it was a new format for me. It has an overriding lyrical story that it's short, it's ready for bedtime or for the younger kids with the shorter attention span. And then it has the nonfiction, sidebars down at the bottom of each spread that take each topic that's being introduced and make it deeper. And that was an entirely new way of writing for me, and I was so pleased with how it came out.
For me, the board book was a much simpler format than like picture books that, I'm just like overcomplicating things, trying to get like a good story arc. And this one was just kind of like how to potty train a dinosaur. This is the first step. And it was fun to write because it was not very complicated, but I just feel like from start to finish, the project was really fun. So hopefully the children will be able to take some of that and just be like, this is fun. I'm trying something new. I'm trying to go potty. I'm trying to, learn this new skill. So hopefully they will have that same sort of attitude.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was a wonderful interview and I loved getting to know you and your books. So if you are at all curious about these wonderful ladies and their books, I'm going to have the links to their websites down below, as well as the titles of the books that we discussed today. And I'll do that for all the authors and participants for today's episode. And if you're interested in more great bookish content, head over to the Familiy's Facebook page on June 5th at 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST, and check out a launch event that I will be co-hosting with Steph from today's video. Can't wait to see you all there. Thank you so much for joining me for our very first episode of SGN Booktube Special Edition. It's so good to know what is good and what is happening out in the book community. If you would like to submit your good news, if you'd like to submit good news of anything bookish, really, you can check out my website, www.mirandareads.com/SGNBooktube. You can submit a written or a video presentation there. You can also submit by tagging me on Instagram or Twitter at Miranda_reads. Thank you so much for watching and happy reading. Bye.